audiences only, so your mom is definitely invited. Sometimes controversial, always engaging. It's the podcast that lets your voice be heard. It's the podcast that shouts you out. It's time to holler. Can you dig it?
If I could eat a unicorn one day through a Pop-Tart.
I like toaster strudel.
You like the jizzy part?
Yeah, I like the way it explodes
You
in
like
my
it?
mouth. And to swallow it down, oh my God.
Your tweets, snaps, Facebook comments, and even phone calls. Holler any way you want.
They used to give kids opiates to keep them quiet.
This is much less offensive than that.
JD, Brian, and Gracie. Holler at your boys and the girls.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the internet. We're on the internet together. We're having a great time on the internet together. And that's what we do here on Holler. It's a podcast that shouts you out. We're based here in beautiful, wild, and wonderful Huntington, West Virginia. It's the birthplace of podcasts. It's America's best community. And we like to party. What's up, Brian? How you doing, man?
Dude, I'm doing great. I'm just getting everything shared to all the Facebook walls that I can to see as many of these beautiful faces as we can. Holler
Right.
Nation, I hope you guys are ready to hang with us a little bit late this evening. We're ready to get this thing going. We've got a great guest. We talked a lot in the I talked too much in the pregame, but I told Rob, our guest, I said, man, we're going to bring it all around. We'll just talk about it again if we have to. We've got two dogs side by side. I've got a dog under a blanket. Rob's got a dog in a diaper. More on that later. These are things that are happening off screen, just so you know. But yeah, man, things are going well.
Hell yeah, that's wonderful. As you all can see, Gracie can't be with us tonight. She's got some things going on right now. Maybe we'll hear from her later. Maybe not. It's no big deal. It's not a big deal at all. But what we do have with us is a wonderful guest. I'm so excited to talk to this guy. He is a fantastic, best-selling, and award-winning author, also from Huntington, West Virginia, by way of Nashville right now, I believe. Is that correct?
That's right, yeah.
Word. And so this is going to be great. We're going to reminisce, but we're also going to talk about the future. We're going to talk about the past, the present, and the future. This is going to be a time traveling podcast. No, it's not really. But welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Say hi to Rob Rufus. What's up?
Hey, what's up, man?
Man, I'm so pumped, dude. Honestly, you've written some wonderful stuff. Not only a memoir about your earlier life, but also some really cool fiction. You've also just put a new book out. I cannot wait to talk about that stuff, as well as fucking shit like punk rock and like baseball and fucking whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, awesome.
We'll see, man. We'll
This
see what we'll
sounds
talk
good to
about.
me, man.
Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, of course. Thanks
We're gonna
for
do a
having
quick.
me.
We're gonna do a quick toast, and then we're gonna jump right into the game. So, Brian,
All right.
I think you're on it.
Yeah, let's get this party started. Holler Nation, anyone out there who has a
Welcome.
shot, raise your glass. It's the Holler Toast. We'll get this party started. By the way, I don't have anything written down. I'm just going to kind of wing it off the hip here because I want to shout out one of my favorite stores that only comes around once a year. This spooky store called Spirit Halloween. And I want you to think about this. I want you to think about this store. This store is all about Halloween and spookiness, and they essentially secretly move in to an empty, bare bones, dead building, and they take over the building. They take over the soul of the building for only 1 month, and then they disappear. And it's all so spooky. Shout out to Spirit Halloween.
Let's do it.
Link up at officialholler.com.
Hell yeah, officialholler.com is where you can hit all that stuff up. Camo Energy Shots, they're our official sponsor. We are proudly powered by them. They are wonderful people. They create these. They're Camo Energy Shots, 250 milligrams of caffeine, but also no sugar, no carbs, wonderful taste, no crash either. That's the thing that I'm going to start talking about in the future from now is no crash. You hit these things up and you're going to feel great. It's wonderful stuff. Check out camoenergyshots.com. Thank you so much. Welcome to the internet.
Yep, and we're going to give these away. We're going to give these away, and we're going to tell you how as the show progresses here. Let's get people in here first, and then we'll show you how to win some free
First
Camo
off,
Energy.
I want to say I'm really digging the background you've got put together, Rob.
Yeah.
Like you've got.
Thanks.
You've got a really good study thing going on.
Yeah, well, I have to have like Zoom meetings with like entertainment industry people and shit like that, and I actually had a. I don't think I can. I'll drop my computer if I try to get a thing of it, but I have a giant print of this album cover for the CD Punkorama 2. You might remember it actually. It has like a cartoon guy pissing Punkorama on a wall, and it's like this takes up the whole fucking wall. And that's what I used to have. That's what originally was there. And my brother was like, dude,
Yo.
what? So this is like my wall of validation.
Yeah, the wall of validation. Yes, that's exactly what it is. As you can see, mine is pretty empty. Yo, speaking of fucking punk rock, I want to preface this because we're going into everything here. But yo, Rob and his brother Nat, we're talking about Huntington, West Virginia, and we can't talk about Huntington and Rob and Nat Rufus without talking about Defiance of Authority. I just wanted to pop that right out the top.
Nah, that's awesome, man.
I hope people. Some of the best rock shows I've ever been to in my entire life were you guys.
I remember you at those shows, man.
So much fun, fantastic shit, and also you guys had grown and turned into other stuff, so many things. But also, that's also leads to like your current, like obviously you're doing a bunch of shit, but we want to talk to you right now about the books you have written because you are not only like you're a best-selling author, you're an award-winning author, and you're also like writing fucking cool shit that people need to.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I need to know how that even starts, by the way. I'm so curious just how the writing process starts. Rob, do you realize how many people out there, probably including myself, by the way, who just like deep down are like, I want to write a book. I want to write something, but it feels like it's so far away and such an impossible goal. How does one even begin the process of going from idea to a real book?
That's exactly how it started, dude. Like I always felt like that too. I know millions of people feel like that. And I just, one day, for one reason or another, the only difference between thinking that and doing it is doing it. And that sounds so corny, but that's what it was. And I like, I had no fucking idea what I was doing. So it took me probably 5 or 6 years to draft like a first draft of a book, and it looked like I went to Kinko's and got it printed off, and it looked like a fucking suicide bomber manifesto. It was like this thick, it was like 1,000 pages.
You had like you have no proofreading. It's just you. So it's like a mixture of like stream of consciousness mixed with just you're going insane. Maybe.
But you know what? Actually, I just found it in my closet yesterday. But I will say, I wish I would have like, thought of stuff like outlining or like, fucking just basic stuff.
Yo.
Hey,
yeah, you future authors, man. Listen to this. He's got some nuggets of truth right now.
Before I wrote my third book, so it took me like 5 or 6 years to write a first draft of my first book. It took me like 2 or 3 years to do the same thing for my second. But a writer friend, I'm going to plug this dude, Sean, whatever, I can't pronounce his name, but this book, The Story Grid.
Oh wow!
And my writer friend turned me on to it, and it oh my God, it changed my game. And I was like, I'm going to do it step by step. And I wrote the first draft of the book in like 6 months.
Holy shit.
And so, yeah, don't free ball it to all future writers out there. Like, but
they should read the story grid. They should read the story grid first to like help them.
Well, to me, like the first thing is like an idea, like, and I'll talk to people, be it my friends or like people that'll hit me up about wanting to write and what the term in like the movie and TV business is like a log line, which is basically like a 3-sentence elevator pitch. And I'm like, the first thing you should do, if you want to write, you got all kinds of ideas, or maybe it's a memoir or whatever, come up with a log line, like come up with a 3 sentence. And every log line I write, I end with, for the cheap seats, it's like this meets this. And
Oh,
like,
word.
and it's like, that's just so, it
But
becomes,
that kind of melds it together, right? It's
yeah,
like,
and it becomes really clarifying. Like, even to me, man, like when I go, okay, it's like fucking X Files meets 9.5 weeks.
I got a thing though. Okay, so you feel like that also comes from your being a musician too, because people as musicians also do that. When we talk
Yeah,
about
you're
like
right.
when you're creating a musical project or you're trying to write a song and you go, okay, so it sounds like this and it feels like this, but it's if this band meets this band, you know?
Yeah, it is. I mean, like Nat and I, like our band Blacklist Rose, to our detriment, was like, it's gonna be like Rancid meets 38 Special. No, nobody wants to hear that, but like,
Yeah,
we
they
did
do. Are you
that.
shitting
You
me? Yeah,
never
they
know.
do.
We
Dude, I
did.
guarantee you fucking a lot of people in Huntington want to hear that. But
Yeah.
By the way,
no,
we got to shout out Holler Nation. Lee Pennington is here, and she
Lee.
would like you to know Lee is here.
Hey.
Miranda says, "Well, the party can begin now." Mel says, "Hello, my favorite podcast family." Mel, you know what? In what should I say here? In honor of Mel being here, our #1 camo winner. Which, by the way, Mel, of course, we have more camo coming your way. I'm going to give everyone a chance to win these camo energy shots for free right now. All you have to do, share this live video to your Facebook wall, send us a DM showing that you shared it. Make sure you include your mailing address, and then we're going to mail you a little sample. That way you can taste this stuff. And speaking of camo, Miranda says, I gave camo shot to my nurse at work today, and she loved it. She was super hyper, but listen, she was dragging at 8 a.m. and by 9 a.m. wide awake. And hey, that's the camo out here saving lives.
And no crash. It came lunchtime. She had her salad. She did great. It was wonderful. So I got two little things real quick. Well, the second one is not the littlest. The first one kind of is. What I really dig though right now behind Rob, you got a reflection of his like ceiling fan. It almost looks like a flickering candle.
It looks like a flame, yeah.
Like it looks like a flame, and it's like the dude's like chilling in the fucking
He's like,
catacomb.
actually, that's a
right.
skull on fire. It really is.
I'm loving it. But yeah, okay. So on to the other thing I wanted to bring up. Seriously, so you've got these wonderful books. Your first book that you published is called Die Young with Me. It's a memoir, a punk rock memoir,
Mhm.
literally about your life as a teenager into your young adult life. This is one of the most captivating books I think I've ever read. Honestly,
Oh,
it's
thanks, man.
dude, it's fantastic because it's also wild because I know the people you reference in it. I know the
Yeah.
people in the book because they're from Huntington and
Yeah.
from Huntington, which is wild. But also, that has nothing to do with how captivating the book really is, because everybody, I think, has felt those things. And then in that book, it just explodes into this crazy story of survival and just the craziness of not knowing and all that kind of stuff. It's so nuts.
Well, I
Um,
appreciate that, man. I really do.
it's so cool. So can you tell? So you won an award for this book. Can you tell us
Yeah.
about the award?
Yeah, I won a American Library Association award, which for like it's called like their Alex Medal, which is like for books that um appeal to young adult readers as well as adult readers.
Crosses.
So yeah, that was a big fucking deal to me. That was like I've never won an award for anything in my life, so that was a pretty cool one to
That's
win.
a pretty big one to start with, by the way.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking rad.
You're beautiful.
Like a major fucking dude. That's fucking insane. And so in this book, this book is again a memoir of you. Basically, at a young age, you were diagnosed with a very severe form of cancer that
Yeah,
you had no clue how you'd come out the other side of it, but you did. And so the book is partly about that, but also partly about your like upbringing and the people you were with and how you interacted with them. I swear, like there's romantic parts of the book. There's fucking like there's these dope parts about like music and art and all this stuff. It's like it's all blended together into this crazy true story. Um,
Yeah, I mean, shit,
you
dude.
probably get this. You probably get this question all the time, and I'm leading to this question. What gave you kind of the oomph? What gave you the kick in the ass to write a book about something like this? Some people might not even want a story like that to even be known. Like, fuck, this is
Uh, you know, like, well, playing music. I mean, once like I was in remission or whatever. I'm probably in my like mid 20s now. Now I just, for the next 5 or 10 years, just toured, playing, and I didn't have to talk to anybody about it. Like I was in a different place every night. But that kind of like really fucks you up. And to be honest, one of the big inspirations was uh, The Fault in Our Stars, because it was just such trite fucking garbage. And I would have people going like, "Are you gonna go see that movie?" And I'm like, "I lived that fucking movie," and like,
like
it's
way
not,
more fucking hardcore
yeah,
assholes.
like, and it's not rated PG-13, like, it's
No, dude.
rated R. And I was just so like disgusted, and every like kind of cancer memoir I'd see would be like bad hair day, how cooking pasta and whatever got me through this. And I'm just like, Jesus fuck.
I love this
And
side of it. This is the punk ass side of it. I love it.
and like I was just so disgusted, and you want to like just give these terrible experiences some kind of meaning.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, true.
so all those things. I mean, really, I am driven like many of us from a place of spite, and that did really help me get started on
Yeah.
my.
Yeah.
But or definitely helped me keep going as well. So, but that's kind of really where it started. Just like, just
So
disgust.
yeah, just disgust with the fucking status quo, which is
Yeah.
straight punk rock as shit.
Yeah, I guess it is.
I want to scoot on. What up, Jesse in the house, dude? Jesse, Lawrence in
Jesse.
the house, boy. What's up, dude? It's
Jesse
a
from
Facebook
Shotgun Squad.
user, whatever. We know who you are, dog. It's all
Jesse,
good.
the Facebook. Hey, Jesse, if you can tell me what your favorite sound on the soundboard is, every time you enter the show moving forward, I'll just play the sound and that'll be your intro. You just have to tell me what's your favorite.
So I want to scoot though. I want to scoot on to the next because this is the one that I fucking I fell in love with this book, The Vinyl Underground.
Oh, thanks, man.
Your second book, your first foray into fiction.
Yeah.
But it didn't seem fictional, man. This book felt like it was fucking anybody could have. This was a Stephen King book without any fucking stupid ghosts. That's what it was.
That's high praise, dude. Really,
dude, that's what it felt like to me. So this book is absolutely wonderful. It's about a group of kids growing up together that they all have to deal with a major ailment and a major event that happens in all their lives, connects them all together, and then all this stuff it's a great story. Everybody check it the fuck out. I want to ask specifically about this one, if you don't mind me asking.
Yeah,
were there parallels in your life to this story?
Yeah, the Vinyl Underground deals a lot with. It takes place in 1968, so it deals a lot with Vietnam. And my dad was a Vietnam vet, and he never would talk about it, and so I was always really interested in that era.
Yeah.
Actually, besides that, the other big inspiration for that book was I'm like collect records, and I bought this Mamas and the Papas like used record, and there was a fucking love letter inside from 1968, and this these two kids were like, one went away to college, and they were like writing each other and pairing their letters with records, and I found this so beautiful. Like,
That's cool.
that I kind of like, connected the two things, and at the time, like, not to get into politics, but like, the political shit was began to get very tumultuous, and like, I saw a lot of, uh, I saw a lot of commonalities between what was happening and what was happening in the 1960s, and
Wow.
yeah, so that's kind of where it all came from.
And you threaded all that together in this really wonderful story about these kids that are growing up through it, and it's so that's so cool, man. Because the story itself, I mean, it ends wonderfully, and but also it's got a lot to say, and it was so much fun to read. I couldn't fucking put it down, man. I literally, I fucking read it because like it was so cinematic too. How you put together.
Oh man, thank you. Really, I almost forget about that book sometimes. Like,
dude, that book, yo, don't sleep, motherfuckers. Everybody out there, don't sleep. The Vinyl Underground by Rob Rufus. Fantastic book. I swear to God, it's Stephen King, but without all the stupid bullshit. It's real.
You made my day with that, dude. Seriously.
Maybe less drugs and cigarettes and alcohol than the classic Stephen King.
Right, that also, but maybe less stupid spiders in the shitty fucking like.
That's because of all the drugs and alcohol. That's what.
All right, that's my last round here, and then I'm kicking it to Brian. I just have to say one more thing. I have not read Paradise, West Virginia, which is this is your newest deal. Can you do Can you do a little 3-line elevator pitch?
Yeah, elevator pitch. Paradise is about the two kids of a convicted serial killer, who are living in a, believe it or not, drug-addled Appalachian small town.
Oh boy!
And a true crime touring podcast goes to the town to do an episode, a live episode, kind of like this, on their dad. And then somebody goes missing after the podcast, and the kids take it upon themselves to try to use this to figure out who the real killer was, to prove their dad's innocence.
It's a story of retribution. It's a story of fucking
it's really
redemption.
I mean, I'm drawn to dark shit. I understand why people are. I think people are drawn to anything abnormal, and like, of course they are, because it's super interesting and it's abnormal. But I think, I got the idea for that just because I think I was drunk, and I turned on Netflix, and there's like 50 Jeffrey Dahmer things on there, and I'm like, he has a fucking daughter. Is his daughter getting residuals from this shit? It's like, isn't she a victim too? Like, or not Jeffrey Dahmer, but
dude, fucking
the good-looking one, whatever. Jeffrey Dahmer.
Who cares? It's any of that shit. Like, I'm like, all their families.
Yeah.
All those
are the families getting paid for this, and of course the answer is no. And I was just kind of disgusted by the whole thing. So, I tried to do a little commentary in that, but also like I'm guilty of the same shit,
Yeah.
But I hate myself as much as anybody else. So,
but this is going to turn into a series. This is going to turn into a series on Paramount Plus. Did I read this correctly?
It is going to turn into a series. Paramount is producing it. I don't know 100% if it's going to be on Paramount Plus or like a Netflix or something, but it's in development right now. So
Well,
We shall see.
congratulations, man. That's amazing.
Yeah,
You're
Thanks, man.
way cooler than me. You know, I'm just
Can
some
I get a
dude
fucking
invited.
air horn, bro?
Right?
Yeah, can you give me a
Yeah.
fucking air horn?
Pretty much.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Cheers to that. Here's
God
to Rob.
damn.
Rob's gonna be rich one day. JD and I were just gonna be sitting here in these squares, you know, like
That
that's
would be ideal.
come back to your square one day, Rob, and talk to us, man. If you
I
do
will.
it.
I'll never be too big for my square, dude.
Thank you, man. That's the quote of
Oh
the night.
yeah,
Thank you.
sick. That's awesome. Yo, everybody, for real, Rob Rufus, check him out. Die Young with Me, the Vinyl Underground, Paradise, West Virginia. This stuff is captivating. Please check it out. It's awesome. It's fantastic. Fucking hey, Brian.
Oh yeah, here come the hard-hitting questions, Rob. So buckle up.
Can you
All
do
right.
a baseball one though?
A baseball one?
I don't know. I'm just saying, like it's a fucking postseason right now. What's up?
You really, dude? Yeah, baseball postseason, man. Yeah, who's gonna take it? Good question. Astros, maybe. We're gonna go Astros.
Okay.
I'm not leaning the Yankees way. We'll go Astros for me.
Yeah.
Phillies.
Mark Wahlberg.
What's Holler Nation saying out there? Andrew said, "What's up, boys from Shotgun Squad?" He said, "Come shotgun some beers later after you guys are done." Lee says his writing is so necessary because people only hear one version of the Appalachian story. Having this new type of voice speaking is so amazing.
She's so cool.
She is so cool, actually.
He is great.
Yeah.
Lee's amazing. And Lee's also my neighbor too, by the way. So
Oh,
I'll be
no
outside,
shit.
dude. I'll be outside like watering my flowers at my mailbox, and Lee will drive by. It's like a tradition. She'll just drive by and roll down the window and like either yell random shit at me or just talk to me for like 10 minutes. We're like we totally do the real neighbor thing. Okay,
Oh,
Rob,
yeah.
here we go. Hard-hitting questions. Are you ready? Let's start easy. What'd
I'm
you eat
ready.
for breakfast this morning?
Wait, what was the question?
What did you eat for breakfast this morning?
I ate granola cereal and a banana.
Cool, man. More on cereal later, by the way. What was your dream occupation as a kid?
Rock star, I guess.
Well,
For
you nailed
private
that one, I
eye.
guess. You did pretty good, dude.
That one's rolling.
Since you're from West Virginia originally, and you're in Nashville right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're in Nashville. When you're away from West Virginia, what is just one thing that's like glaring that you notice when you're away? I mean, I can think of things when I'm away from West Virginia, things that I notice. What's something that comes to mind for you?
What's different about what's different when I go back to West Virginia, or what's
No,
different?
like what's different about the place? Like you don't even have to say Nashville, but just anytime you leave West Virginia, what do you think is most glaring to you?
People have more teeth.
So that's the route you went. Okay.
Dig it.
Okay.
No,
Dig it.
I will say, Rob, my answer, other end of the spectrum, my answer is a lot less people hold the door open for you when you go places.
Dude,
Like, dude,
totally.
Dude, here it's like I just did this tonight at dinner. By the way, I went to Texas Roadhouse. A little child, like a 4-year-old, wanted to open the door for me. So this little kid opens the door. I'm looking up here. I'm like, how's the door open? I look down there. It's a kid, and I'm like, thank you. And then the kid's dad is also holding the door open for us. We walk out, and the guy behind me, he says, okay, I'm going to now hold the door open for people because this guy's held it open up, and he volunteered. Like people are in line to hold doors open for people.
And now there's still a dude there holding the door.
There is.
Legend has it the last guy has to remain holding the door for the rest of the night at the Roadhouse. Okay, we're gonna play a little game here with you, Rob. So just you don't have to think too deeply about this, but can you tell me the last place that you made a purchase at of any kind? It could have been food, it could have been Walmart, clothes, it could have been anything. But just think of your very last purchase. Like maybe what type of store? What do you think you went to purchase something last?
Huh. That's an interesting question, Ryan.
God.
I'm going somewhere with it.
It was in a tent, and in the middle of the night, and I bought a $4 paperback of the Clive Barker book that the movie Lord of Illusions was based on.
Okay.
Because I was like, fucking Lord of Illusions.
Well, this is fantastic detail.
I love
Yeah,
it.
this is fantastic detail that you've given us here. I'd never expected that part, nor did I expect it to be a tent at midnight. But nonetheless, okay, so you're in the tent. It's midnight. Can you picture the person that sold you this item? Can you picture
He
him?
was. Yeah, of course. He's he smelled like cigarettes. He was like a huge fucking dude in a folding chair. Yeah, that's I don't know if I'm imagining him with a ponytail or had one, but
Oh yeah,
if he didn't have one, he vibed one. You know?
yeah, he vibed one out. It's nothing anyway.
Giant guy, smells like cigarettes. He's in a tent. He sells you this at midnight. Okay, now here's for the real question. Now that we've got this guy pictured in our head,
Yeah.
let's just say tragedy strikes, man, and we are just fending for our lives. Would you eat this man if you had to stay alive, or would you die?
I don't think I think I would be more likely to die if I ate this guy. Yeah.
And there you go. It's like literally the perfect fucking answer for that.
The book has more nutritional value.
The book has more fiber. This
Rob would eat
straight up.
Rob would eat his books if he was going to die.
Straight up cholesterol and sadness.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Fantastic. Really glad I asked that question. Better answer than I could have expected. I think we're going to move on now to Holler Polls. You ready to move on, JD? Let's
do it, man.
Send your dick pics to Gracie at officialholler.com.
Oh,
yeah,
Gracie.
definitely go there. Definitely go there for that. Go to chemoenergyshots.com for energy stuff because that's what you need. But also go to robrufus.net. It really does. It's spelled like it sounds. ROBRUFUS.net. And you will be able to learn more about Rob and his wonderful books and all the things going on in his life. This shit is sick, dude. Rob, let's have a blast. All we're doing now, we're just going to thank you so much, by the way, for letting us interview you in the weirdest ways.
Oh, dude, I wish we could do this in person, man.
maybe sometime in the future.
Please.
But yo, look, we're gonna do some poll stuff. We're gonna ask some silly questions. We're gonna see what people feel about things. Later on, we'll probably play a game with our audience and try to get them some free stuff, and also, just hang out with us on the internet. We'll have a good time.
You got mail.
Let's go. Let's go.
I think I could go ahead and go first with
How about it?
So we always do polls on Holler, officialholler.com. It's Holler on everything, Facebook, YouTube, blah 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 blah. It's blah 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 blah. But we also do these polls every single week. And this week I asked everybody in Holler Nation. I said, I want you to tell us your favorite breakfast cereals. Everybody's got a fucking opinion about this shit, so we'll just pop it right out. I'm gonna go ahead and just go Holler Nation first. Then we'll go around the table and then move on to Brian.
Hot Pockets.
Favorite breakfast cereals. My good buddy Matthew Furr, he says RBC is the only way to be. And if you don't know RBC, that's Raisin Bran Crunch. Really cool answer, because not everybody is on it that level, but some other people,
I think you grow into Raisin Bran. It feels like when you're a kid, you're like, "What the fuck? This ruined my life." And you're an adult, you're like, "Tasty and delicious." Thank you.
Yeah, it's like, you're a kid. You just want like nuts covered in honey, and that's it with
more
milk
sugar.
And then it's like, oh, the flakes kind of all right, and then raisins, fuck raisins. And then you get older, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna need some of those raisins.
A wonderful brand. I appreciate a good brand.
All right, so LaCanda, she says Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Boom, that's gonna be up there. She also says Raisin Bran because she needs to be regular. The OGRB. That's how it does, ladies and gentlemen. The pussy be yanking. The pussy be yanking because of the fiber intake. She says nuts covered in honey. I know your secrets.
All day, every day, Justin.
All day. She also says Apple Jacks, but they cut her mouth up because she gets so excited to eat it that it doesn't get soggy enough. She's, Also, love Lucky Charms, but only the ones with the extra marshmallows. That's a good answer. That's a good answer on that.
Agreed.
I'm all about the marshmallows, man.
That wasn't that like kind of the first cereal to basically just put candy in cereal, and everybody was cool with it.
It was a smart move.
It's pretty genius.
It's pretty genius. It makes the kids go, "Mom, buy this." All right.
Mountain Dew.
Susan says Reese's Puffs. And then she says Reese's Puffs again. So that's 2 votes for this. She also says Frosted Flakes, but with slices of banana. Yo, adding fruit to your cereal.
Yeah.
I second that answer. That's a great answer.
Good move. For example, this morning, Rob, you said you got some.
That's right, man.
Banana in there,
it elevates it.
It brings it up.
Yeah.
Miranda, she says, I have 3 answers that are obviously all correct and in no particular order. Just depends how I'm feeling. Her first is Cinnamon Toast Crunch with whole milk. Oh, she's got milk choices.
Oh, wow. We've got milk choices.
Next is Fruity Pebs, also with whole milk. And then she says Honey Bunches of Oats, but with almond and coconut milk.
Interesting.
So
did not know this about her. Know her pretty well, by the way.
Yeah. So she has moves depending on the style of cereal. There's going to be a different style of milk.
Yeah, well, I think it's probably because, like, if she's eating cereal that's just, like, patently unhealthy, she's like, what? I'm not even going to fucking pretend. And I'm just going to drink.
Yeah, you're right. Throw caution
like something that's healthy. She's, like, trying to do it up.
It's like a real Coke versus a Diet Coke. She said,
exactly.
Yeah. So basically, she's just a poser. That's cool. Like Candace, by the way, responded to that and said, "Fucking whole milk, I'd vomit." And she's like, 2% is the way to go with cereal. That's an interesting, dude.
Ooh.
That's a whole nother poll too.
I never thought about this debate.
No. All right, let me skim through this and then we'll go around the table here. Amy Jo, she says French Toast Crunch. Is that still a thing?
It is.
Okay. So it was in the 90s and then it went away and they got it back. All right,
back.
Cool. All right, cool. Jacob McComas, shout out Jewel City Barbershop. Cheers, Huntington, West Virginia. He says Fruity Pebbles by the pound.
Pounds of pebbles.
Pounds of Pebs. Pebble pounds. Lee, back in the game. She's answering now, and I got another one from her.
Wow.
She says now Rice Krispies with chocolate milk is good, by the way.
And that does sound good.
It does sound great. It's almost like Cocoa Pebbles, but with like less
on reverse.
Yeah, reverse Cocoa Pebbles.
It's like Cocoa Pebbles, but you're intentionally making it harder for yourself.
This is welcome to Stoner Podcast. Even.
Her real answer, though, she says Special K fruit and yogurt, not because it's healthy either. It's just because it's good. Yeah, there's no way. Okay, listen up. Breakfast cereal that comes in a box by people like Kellogg's or Post, not healthy. Doesn't matter what it is. It's covered in sugar. It's covered in stuff. Who gives a fuck? Mel jumping in right now. She says Special K strawberry with bananas and then Kicks. Kicks, dude.
These are great answers, Mel. He also says Kicks?
Bro, that's a fucking callback with the orange box. Kicks.
Yeah, dude. This is great. Those are great answers, Mel. I support those answers.
Okay, here we go. I gotta blast through this so we can go around. Sophie, she says Honey Bunches of Oats with strawberries, and the only acceptable milk is 2%. I didn't even ask about the milk quotient.
People are there for it.
The milk quotient has become a thing. And then Miranda ended up also responding to her, and she said, "You're wrong. I didn't be the one to tell you, but here we are. 2% milk is water with a little bit of milk in it, and that's not good." No, I'm sorry, Miranda. Skim milk is water with just a hint of milk in it. 2% is totally fine, especially for cereal. Rachel's in the house. Rachel, catch ya.
Oh, Rachel's
here. Can you give me some Rachel sounds, please?
Yeah, but it's been a minute, Rachel. Let me find you on here. You exist. You exist.
Rachel! 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 Rachel!
little crispy, Rachel. Rachel, you did a little crispy on that one, just like your current favorite, which is Cappy Crunch.
Good
But
answer.
she also says nearly every cereal is a gift from the Lord.
I agree with that.
Cereal's great. Cereal's wonderful. If you can't eat lunch, knock one out. If you know, maybe don't skip dinner and do cereal, but midnight snack, great. Honestly, dessert, cereal's great.
If you can't eat lunch, go ahead and pound one out, says JD. Go ahead and pound out a book.
All right, guys. Our guest here. I don't eat much cereal, but I prefer the one with all those crunchy clusters, whatever it's called. Is it
All of them.
clusters?
Honey. Wait, hold on.
Honey bunches, maybe clusters.
Honey bunches of O's, and it's like the O's with the clusters. That's little cluster
Okay,
fucks.
that's different.
Yeah.
There is like there's a Cheerios Crunch that's got
Yeah.
clusters in it too. There was also, and I'm about to get on. I'll get on that level. Lee, by the way, she says the only real milk is straight from the nip, like we used to have on the farm when I was a kid.
Let's change our answer to
right.
Captain Crunch with titty milk. Yeah.
I got 3 more to go here, and then we'll go around the table. All right, here we go. Aranda, she says Cinnamon Toast Crunch is the best cereal in the world. Most people probably agree. Ashley, she says Cinnamon Toast Crunch with apple juice, though, instead of milk.
Whoa. What?
Then she also says Raisin Bran, Lucky Charms, Cocoa Pebbles, Fruity Pebbles. All right, Kayla is our last one. She says it was Cinnamon Toast Crunch until my body decided that I'm allergic to cinnamon.
No.
And now she eats Fruity Pebbles or Special K with extra fruit. All right, that's wonderful. Fantastic. Good job, everybody. We're going to go around the table now. I think we all have very strong answers, and I'm so loving what I would like to call the milk quotient.
Yeah.
The fact that people have their own fucking like idea about the milk, specific milk. Wait a second, though. She said apple juice in Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
That's a new milk. Even didn't even see that one coming.
Is that apple milk?
It is in this scenario. It's a milk.
The apple juice sounds like a
bullshit. It sounds like
prices.
bullshit.
That's if I fucking walked in and somebody made cereal and was pouring juice on it, I would think they needed to go to the fucking doctor and
flip their bowl out of their hands onto the ground.
Yeah. That's the most lactose intolerant person I've ever met in my life. Okay, so all right, we'll go around the table and make it happen. I'll go first, if you don't mind. I've got some weird ass answers, yo. I only was gonna have one until I heard somebody talking some shit earlier on this shit. So my first one, Cracklin' Oat Bran. Y'all know what this is?
No.
You've never heard of Cracklin' Oat Bran?
No.
I don't think so.
So
it doesn't sound fun.
So it's this like cereal. It's like dark brown, and it's shaped in these like little bricks. They look like basically Cheerios if they were about 4 times bigger, but then like they were like rectangular. They're very weird, but they're super sweet. They basically taste like cookies. You drown them in milk. You let them, and they're super dense. Let them get soggy for a minute. They're great. Cracklin' Oat Bran all day long. Also, I'm old.
Great. That sounds good, man.
I'm old as fuck. I mean, straight up, like that is what it is. Now the other one is clusters. There was an old school cereal. They don't make it anymore, I don't think. They brought it back in the 90s, but got rid of it. But I remember it from my childhood. It's gone now, I think, but maybe we can get it. But it's called Clusters. And Miranda says that Cracklin' Oat Bran sounds like cereal for an 80-year-old, JD. Thank you, Miranda. You're the one with the fucking like milk choices here, all right? Just normal milk is fine. God damn it. Get over yourself. That's what you sound like if you don't get your special milk.
Special milk.
If you don't get your special milk, Miranda, you're gonna, I don't know. It's gonna, the moon comes out and it turns. All right. Grandpa, go to bed. You know, I really wanted to, but I had to do this fucking podcast. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, crackling oat bran and clusters. That's weird as shit, but hey, guess what? Here's the real deal. I don't fucking eat cereal anymore. Fuck it.
That's a
I don't
bummer,
eat
dude.
cereal anymore, man. I
That's a
know.
bummer.
It's just what it is. It is what it is. Brian, how about you, man?
Strong answer here. French Toast Crunch. French Toast Crunch. I can't say it enough. The best cereal in the world. They look like little French toasties too. That's what's so smart about it. And so, man, dude, they got
Very
that
smart.
syrupy kind of taste. It tastes like it's got maple syrup on it.
It's got the dark brown on the outside and then the light
like little yellow toasties.
The light yellow on the yeah.
French
the greatest cereal that they don't make anymore.
Here we go.
Was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cereal. So it was like Lucky Charms. The Lucky Charms marshmallows are fantastic.
Yeah.
The Lucky Charms cereal is fucking dog shit. But the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cereal was like Chex, but with the Lucky Charms marshmallows, except
this is genius, actually.
Like Shredder and a little shell or whatever.
Yeah.
That's unavailable unless you want to like special order it on the internet or whatever. So I would say mine. I'm a simple man. Captain Crunch with Crunch Berries, which are necessary. Did you find it? Yeah, dude.
Holy shit. Yo.
I'm telling you, it
comes with honey ooze. Yo, it comes with a package of like sugar syrup.
That's amazing.
It's like ooze.
Secret of the ooze, dude.
Go ahead and pour some titty milk on that one and enjoy it.
Put some of that fucking. Get some of that fucking. You better not put apple juice on that shit.
Don't be putting apple juice on that.
That'd be blasphemy.
All right, so you're straight up Crunch Berries, classic ass Crunch Berries.
Yep, Crunch Berries. 2% milk is straight with me.
Word.
But yeah, the Captain Crunch with that Crunch Berries is like a dog without a fucking bone, man.
Yeah. Can I ask you? There's a follow-up question to any Captain Crunch and/or Crunch Berries suggestion, and that's how long do you do the soak time?
Man, not very long, because
you got metal for the roof of your mouth. You're good.
Yeah, well, I'm just used to like being high and eating it right out of the box.
So you didn't even
count. If it's not a bowl, it doesn't count. And so yeah, when it's in a bowl, when this is a proper meal, it doesn't take long.
Is that what we're calling this? Is it a proper meal? I don't know if
that's exactly right.
Oh, it was cow titties, not human titties. Okay, gotcha. Thanks, Lee, for the confirmation there.
I think that we understood that whole part. I think, Brian, you might have just had some sort of complex. Yeah. So, all right. We all agree, though, here on the table, 2% is totally fine. Whole milk.
That's a little much.
They're both fine.
Works. I will say, do we agree, though, about skim milk? Fuck that shit.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Stick it with your apple juice.
Have you
right up your ass.
When's the last time you bought skim milk? That's my thing.
It's been a minute.
See?
I'd be like, skim milk for me is like Rob trying to eat that guy that sold him that thing under the tent. I'd rather just eat a book.
There you go. All right. We're done with the cereal talk now. Thank you, Holler Nation. That was so much fun.
Yeah, dude,
talking shit cool. About cereal. Yeah.
We had a lot to say about cereal, turns out. Shout out to French Toast Crunch, but also those Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cereal. That's cool.
Good call.
Oh my God, Lee has a great comment. This is fantastic. Skim is the seltzer of milk. This is my favorite comment of the night. I'm writing it down.
That's going in the fucking description. For sure. Hell yeah. All right, Brian, what do you want to do? You want to kick it into yours? Do you want to do the game? Do you want to get even weirder? What do you want to do, man?
Well, I'm going to wait. Maybe we won't wait. Maybe we will just play the game. You guys want to play some Family Feud? Win some camo? Fuck it. Let's play a game.
Let's play a game on the internet.
I'm down to do that.
That's how we do it. We play Family Feud, and the people that win this, we get a bunch of free camo
right,
to the winners of this game. That's how we do it. Brian, explain the rules.
Yeah, the rules are simple. We're going to play some rounds of Family Feud here. I'm going to ask a question, and we're looking for the number one answer, just like Family Feud does. They poll a national audience, so you're thinking, what is the number one answer to this question? First person to get 3 correct is going to win the Camo Energy prize pack. Make sure if you're the winner of this that you do DM us your mailing address, if so. Okay, here we go. First question.
Also, by the way, as we do this, Rob, in between our stuff while he's collecting all that stuff, which Brian, you're on all duty. You're
That's
on
fine.
duty,
I got it.
While he's asking these questions, while he's collecting all the stuff from Holler Nation while they're playing the game with us, sometimes I like to just shout a couple little questions to our guests here. Just to
cool.
All right, guys, Holler Nation, here we go. Looking for the number one answer here. The first 1 to 3 correct answers is going to win the Camo prize pack. Question number 1. Name something you mount. Name something you mount.
Go for it, let him roll. Let him roll out there in the public. So, Rob, again, robrufus.net, ladies and gentlemen, check this motherfucker out. Dude, so okay, you've published.
Number one answer's in the chat.
Number one answer's already in the chat. Great. So I'll save the question for
Holler Nation's rolling. Now listen, guys, we're going by my screen since I'm the judge. Normally Gracie does this. The number one answer is horse, something you mount. Point to Lee Pennington.
What?
That's the first answer. Obviously there's other answers, but
that's crazy.
Not to be confused with the classic mount of a TV or even an Asian grandma. Or your husband. All fair answers. Okay, question number 2. Name something you trade in for a different model. Name something that you trade in for a different model.
Okay, Rob, what I was trying to say was, all right, you've written 3 books. You ever thought about writing a screenplay?
I've written numerous screenplays, actually.
Okay. More, please.
I read the adaptation for my memoir, the screen adaptation for that, which has been in and out of development for like 5 years.
Okay.
I think I've written like 4 or 5 other screenplays that are floating around, and 2
number one answers in the chat, by the way.
1 original series, like a pilot for an original series, which is like finally getting some traction, which is very exciting.
Okay.
And it's kind of like
that's a little exclusive news. That's a little exclusive Holler news right there.
Yeah, that is exclusive Holler news, actually.
Damn it, Rob! I want so badly to collab a screenplay with you. Oh my god, it's like my number one goal now in life.
Dude,
we gotta stay in touch, dude.
I would love to hear your fucking ideas, man.
Over a whiskey, we shall do this, man. We might even meet up in this little square again. You never know.
Yeah, the series is like kind of like an homage to it's like a Twin Peaks. It takes place in Appalachia, of course. It's like a Twin Peaks X-Files type 90s.
Give me all the fucking cryptids.
Okay, guys, the number one answer, by the way, to name something that you trade in for a different model, the answer, of course, is car. And Lee Pennington gets the point again. She's 1 point away.
She's straight up. She's 1 away from winning.
And all she has to do is just drive down to get her pack. We don't have to mail it. So, like, I'm almost rooting for Lee because this is less work on my end.
It would be great for Lee to win.
But let's not get this confused with trading in your wife, or as Lee says, husband is also a good answer for this one as well. And Jesse is nice enough to say trading in a podcast for a newer model, which is how I would assume that you ended up here, Jesse. Duh.
We've all done that before, probably.
By the way, Miranda says love Twin Peaks.
Hell yeah.
And Jesse, by the way, says everyone should meet in Shotgun Squad worldwide after this. Hell yeah, dude.
That's
Okay,
true.
next question. By the way, if Lee gets this, she sweeps it. Okay, so
she's going to sweep. We'll
let's
see.
find a
What's
find
the
a good
question, dog? Yeah, get
here.
something good.
Let's
Something
find
that'll
something
stump
juicy.
her. Give other
Yeah.
people a chance, Yeah.
Still looking for something here. Hold on.
Okay, something that feels great. All right. I want to say, it was one of those treatments that you call them treatment screenplays, treatments good. But was any of that for Vinyl Underground? I swear I'm obsessed with that book. I thought that
man, it would fucking surprise you, like that was one. My manager really loved, like, my who represents, like, my screenwriting shit and stuff. And but it's just such a weird time in show business, whereas, like, shocker, I'm like a white dude, and the book is told from the perspective of a white dude, but it also tackles and interweaves with a lot of minority characters and a lot of social justice issues, and that's like a very touchy thing, and
which is so interesting.
Yeah, and even when it's written from my perspective, like so it sucked, honestly, because I've had a couple other writers hit me up like, hey, I really want to adapt this into a fucking thing, which I'm like, no, fuck you. Like,
yeah,
I'm going to adapt it if anybody's going to adapt it, because I'm just trying to get that money or whatever, and credit, really. Like, I hate the idea
and credit.
No,
yes.
Yeah, that's the main thing,
somebody
man.
making more money than me to get the credit for adapting something that I already wrote.
Jesse, how was that delay, by the way? I saw your message, and I mean, obviously, I clicked it instantly. I don't know if you saw it go up on the screen. Anyway, guys, next question. Be ready for it. He says his
follow
delay.
Up with this. I got to follow up with this. I got to follow up with this, Rob.
That's fine. He says his delay is about 8 seconds, and really, Jesse, I think that's about normal. Honestly, I don't think
Jesse, you're gonna have to deal with it, doggy. You're gonna have to deal with it, brother. That's how the internet works.
Get it right first.
Remember,
yes. Okay, here we go.
Connected to people all across the fucking nation and the world.
Here we go, guys. Rob, our last podcast, we had Australia in here. Yeah. We've had Canada in here and Norway.
Europe.
It's crazy, dude. The internet, man.
That's awesome.
Like we were talking about in pregame, the internet, it brings all this together. It's so cool. Okay, guys, here we go. This one's up for grabs. Number one answer gets it. Name a word that rhymes with pick. That's the question. Name a word that rhymes with pick. Can anyone defeat Lee on this one? Seems like a pretty even playing field.
I got a follow-up question, but I think this is just going to pop right up.
You'd be surprised. Name a word that rhymes with pick. Here we go. Nothing yet. It's not dick, by the way.
Thanks.
Shout out Lee. Okay, number one answer is in the chat. It is Mel, and it is stick.
Really?
It is stick. What were you guys thinking?
Family Feud never ceases to surprise me.
Yeah, what were you guys thinking on your end?
I was going to say lick.
Yeah.
Lick was number 3. It's in this order. Stick, sick, lick, dick, kick, tick, chick.
I like sick.
That's fucking sick. Okay, Mel's on the board with 1 point.
Why did I not say that one anyway? I say that every day, all day. I say sick all the fucking time. What the fuck?
Okay, here we go. Name something you measure. There's your next question. Name something you measure.
Does this also rhyme?
Your stick, of course.
Something you measure, ladies and gentlemen. Get out there and do it. Rob, I'll tell you my follow-up. More than likely, it's already going to be in the chat, but my follow-up to it was, as you are working in this environment and as you're being a creator and being a creative in this sort of realm, both between music, we've been talking about your writing, and that's what we should be talking about, because you also got some great music shit, and we'll talk about that in a second. But between those two things, and this is the end of my question, and then Brian, I'm sure it's the answer's already there.
Nobody's got it yet.
Nobody's got it yet. Okay, I'll just keep going. I'll keep expounding. So between those two things, how have you noticed sort of the direction that things are going between independent writers of both books, or of all of books, television, film, even music?
Number one answer's in there.
And we'll go ahead and get that number one answer out, and then if you want to kind of marinate on that one, that would be cool.
Number one answer, something that you measure, it is height. I can't believe it took so long to get that one. It is not to be confused. It's not to be confused with feet or penis. That is
Penis.
singular. That's singular
Yeah,
penis.
I knew penis would be one of the things.
Okay. Another point for Mel. Both Mel and Lee have 2. Is there hello? Is there anyone else out there that can score points in this game besides these 2? One of you is going to get it.
Two.
So here's how this is going to work. Either I'm going to have to ship camo energy across the country, completely across the country to the West Coast, or my neighbor is going to come pick it up. You know, we don't care, because here at Holler, we're like Rob Rufus over there. We're just rich, man. We're rich with just creative love. This is how we go. Here we go. Nope, not going with that one.
Bringing another. All right. Okay. He's putting it all together. So to say what I'd said before, what do you think about independent creation right now, and especially in those fields?
You know, I think creators are always going to create, and I think that's awesome. And I think, but like, and you know, if I was a 20-year-old, I might have some fucking idea how to be an fully independent artist, because I know there are some. There's a lot, and they're making a lot of money. But I do think, especially in music, but in every facet of art, I think it's, I'll hear people that are already rich and famous, or people that are like on the industry side of the industry, which like should all be in question. Go like, well, why do you want a record label, or why do you want a publisher that? Oh, sorry guys, that is gonna, you know, take a huge chunk of what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And I go, well, because most creatives don't have 10, 20, 50, $100,000 to spend on promotion and these like just the infrastructure to be a success, you know. I mean, like
yeah, they're almost like banks, like they're banks giving you these loans, but also they've got the clout if they're the ones that got the money.
And like, that's exactly right. And they get, and of course it is way different now. I mean, back in the day, you know, like with music, for instance, if a band got signed to a record label, that gave them an air of legitimacy that the band's not on a record label didn't have, and that's not necessarily the case anymore.
Right.
But at the same time, they do have their millions of social media followers, their, you know, deep pockets, their connections with agents and other bands and whatever. So
yeah,
I think if you can be independent, that's great. But I think you should, and I would love to be, you know, like anytime I'm independent, which I am, you know, there's many facets of like what I'm doing that I am independent, and I feel I don't feel like free. I feel helpless, because I go 100% of nothing is nothing. And like, I think that anybody that is considering this kind of stuff should take shit with a grain of salt. Like, and consider who's the one giving you that advice. Often I'll get that advice from people who are basically at the end of a very successful career. And I'm like, well, that doesn't really help me,
No, it doesn't. Exactly.
So, and that's
or when I'm coming up, or when I'm just starting, or when I'm about
Yeah.
to peak, or things like that. Yeah.
And that's not like a popular answer because it sucks, because
Yeah.
those things are even harder to attain, because everybody can be an artist now, and everybody can be everybody can be in the digital record store, and so it sucks, but that's from my experience, like I would much more happily give up also the main advice I've got from people more successful than me in the music business, but it really applies to every other facet of my experience in entertainment, is like, you're never gonna get as much money as you can, because you're never gonna make it back. Because
You'll never get it back. Yeah.
Waste as much money as
You're an
can,
artist. You're an
make
artist.
as much money as you can.
Yeah.
You're never gonna make back your advance.
You're
Like, and
But Lee is right, though. And Lee says, but not everybody can be Rob Rufus. And that's real.
Rob, I think that you should take your talents.
That's the deal, is talent. That's the thing. That's the like most interesting quotient of it all,
Rob, I think you should take your talents to TikTok, and you should just read your books, and that should be your TikToks. People could just tune in, and it's just you're reading your books, and that's the best. Now you're going over to that.
I sadly,
Gen Z?
somebody gave me the advice that I needed to get on TikTok the other day, and I went, "This is what it's come to."
Yeah. Go fuck yourself.
All right, guys. Next question. Next question for Family Feud.
All right,
Here
Rob,
we go.
That couldn't have been a better answer. That was amazing. That literally was one of the best parts of this fucking episode. It snuck into the middle of this Family Feud shit that we're doing on the Holler. Like, what the fuck? Like, we're doing a shitty game show to give away some of these shitty camo shots, camoenergy.com. But
it's the podcast within the podcast. It's a hidden little podcast
that
inside
was literally
the podcast.
like some of the coolest shit you'll ever hear from a fucking creative, two creatives on the show.
Well, yeah, dude. I mean,
fuck it, bro. I'm just gonna get drunk now.
All right, guys, here we go. This is the next question. We've got two people that have 2 points. If they get it, they win. It's Lee, it's Mel, it's the rest of you. Here we go. I want you to tell me the first word you think of when I say the word Hulk. What's the first word you think of when I say Hulk? And let me tell you, I think that you guys are going to have a hard time with this one. You might not even get it. Like,
that's why you picked it too. That's
why I picked it. It's kind of tough.
Yo, I want to say though, Rob, you really did touch on some really interesting stuff, man.
Oh yeah, man. Thanks.
The way that money rules things right now is very difficult. It's actually very easy for people that are good at creating things to be taken advantage of, but then it's also easier now for the people that create things to make something from it. But now as that grows and starts branching, turns into this huge tree of all this shit where it's like, yeah, you could create something really wonderful, and maybe not everybody will be able to see it because it's being blocked by other shit. It's being controlled by an algorithm.
Yeah, it really is.
Let me repeat that. We have other viewers in that have just popped in. I'm going to repeat the question. Name the first word you think of when I say Hulk.
There you go.
Oh, and just like that, the number one answer popped in. It popped in twice too.
Damn.
And we've got ourselves a winner. It's Lee Pennington.
It's or green, but green is
green was it, and Miranda came in with it also right underneath. According to my screen, Miranda said the word green 1 second later than Lee. 1 second.
There you go.
But you know what?
And we got the receipts, people.
We got the receipts. There we go.
He's got it. That's wonderful.
Congratulations, Lee.
The one Family Feud. Good job. Brian's going to walk it down the street to you. I want to finish this convo real quick. I think we got we got a couple last things to say here.
Sure.
For real, that's some gnarly shit. And you know what you talked about, Rob, specific was to music, but again, you've
Come
written
on, Biley.
screenplays, you've written motherfucking books. That's kind of where my first part of the question was. Is that directly connected? Are those similar? Like, is music obviously everybody's heard about how music has changed since
Yeah.
but books, screenplays, shit like that, fucking visual art.
I mean, it's similar and similarly like I would say it's similar in the way you're inundated with such fucking bullshit constantly that it makes you feel like and if you have like there's such a there's luck involved either way, and
Yeah.
like I don't know how
Nice.
luck
Yeah.
factors into an algorithm. I don't, you know, when I know the people that make the algorithms don't understand how the algorithms work, I usually like I fall back on the old school mindset, like for better or for worse. I mean, like when I got my first book out, you know, the independent publishing and people self-publishing their own stuff was really popping off, you know. But I just same way I used to send out demo tapes when I was a kid, I just sent it to like hundreds of agents
Yeah.
and go, I gotta try
be
to
interested in it.
get somebody. I just feel like I know one. I don't know how the new world works, but I know how the old way works. And like even with my screenwriting, like I got that career started because I signed into my mom's Amazon because I don't even have fucking Amazon Prime because I couldn't afford it. And got a free week subscription to IMDb and went through every fucking show I liked, every movie I liked, found the writers, then found and their agents' contact infos on that. And I just started hitting up agents.
It's pretty smart.
And like, because I go to an agent or a manager, like, those are such dirty words to most people, but I'm like, fuck that, dude. Like, I'll happily give somebody.
It's how you make progress. It's how you
cut of
create
like
success.
That's what I mean. Like, you know it, but it does suck. I mean, the game has changed so much. I don't even recognize it, and you know.
So in that case, man, it's more like, you know, play the game you feel like you should play.
That is actually a good way to put it. Like play, I mean, yeah, go back to the tried and true rules, the things you understand that will work. I mean, I know it works to pop off with a viral fucking video and
Yeah.
get $100,000 book advance that is complete bullshit and everybody knows it's bullshit and what. But I don't know how to do that.
Right.
You know, like so yeah, that
but y'all
sucks,
motherfuckers can still write some shit. You can still release some shit. You can still go play a show in your hometown.
Yeah.
Like people come out and see, and they end up being like, that was one of the most fun times I've had in fucking years, or you know, and they end up becoming fucking, you know, it becomes this thing. Basically, fuck the algorithm. Create your own, right?
Hey, listen, Rob, I've got something to say about algorithms, by the way. I'm glad that he brought that up. It's a great segue for me. This is my favorite algorithm fact currently because it just fucks me up. This blows my mind. And I don't know if you knew this, but Facebook currently spends so much money on their AI, their algorithms that go out and hunt and try to find posts to shut down. And half the time they get it wrong because someone will post a funny meme. Facebook thinks you're trying to threaten to blow up your school or some shit. And they ban your account. And next thing you know, they've deleted someone's account. And the account had photos of like their children and things like that. And it's this fucked up back and forth. So they spend so much money. Anyway, Zuckerberg came out and he disclosed the amount that he spends. Now think about this. Facebook is this huge corporation and it seems pretty fucking evil and I don't like it.
Which,
but
by the way, we're
nonetheless,
streaming on right now. It's
the
all
one-
live.
shout out.
How you
We're
doing?
just exploiting the numbers. That's all we're doing. But no, dude, the algorithms Zuckerberg spends in the billions per year on just the AI robots, the algorithm that searches for posts. That's not even to say the rest of Facebook and Metaverse and all that he spends money on. And so when they chalk that up, the billions that he spends only on his AI algorithms is actually more than many countries spend on their defense systems for their whole country. He spends it on Facebook robots. What the fuck is going on in the world, dude?
You know what? I see this all the time. Like, I could say the same thing a lot of times about like the opioid crisis, for instance. It's like an overcorrection to a problem by the people that started the problem to begin with, and it fucks everybody. You know, now people that aren't doing anything wrong are fucked, and it really sucks, man. Like.
You know what? We're gonna do that as a collective shots fired, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna do a fucking liquor, a little bit of liquor for that.
Word.
I'm gonna go on the most poignant things that's ever been said on this stupid internet show. An overcorrection by the people who've caused the fucking problem.
Yeah, I mean, like. You know, with painkillers, like I got to take painkillers all the time because of my health problem. I got a fucking lung removed. Like, my back's all fucked up, and dude, I got to jump through so many hoops. I got to take piss tests every fucking whatever, and it's like. But I digress. You know what I'm saying,
man? I will tell you this. I'll tell you this. We've talked about your wonderful fucking books. We've even done a little exclusive fucking information about some of the upcoming things coming up from Rob Rufus. This is
I got my fingers crossed, man.
We obviously Gracie couldn't make it this evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're sorry, Gracie. We'll see you next time. Oh, it would have been really cool because I guarantee you she would have had some really great stuff to say here. And Gracie, we'll see you next time for sure. But this honestly, and again. I was like, that's how I do it. I'm just being real. But this honestly has been a very fantastic, eye-opening, wonderful show. Everybody needs to go to robrufus.net so you can order his books. Obviously, you can order them from Amazon or anything like that. But please, though, support your local bookstore. Most local bookstores actually have an ability for you to be able to find books they might not have in stock and still be able to get it through them and still be able to support their. So if you dig what you've heard tonight and you want to hear some of these awesome stories and want to read some of this great stuff, go to robrufus.net, but also look into that stuff. Support your local bookstores.
I've got a question. Speaking of local bookstores,
Rob, I'm just going to let it be known.
Rob, I don't know if you know this. There's a new local bookstore in Barboursville. It's right by the new record store in Barboursville. It's called Book Tenders. It's a West Virginia locally based bookstore. We need to get your book on those shelves. That's the first thing. They're right down the road from me, and we know them. They're friends of the show, and they'll be on the podcast soon.
I think we might be able to do. I think we should just actually fuck it. Let's just go like Holler crazy in Barboursville and get to fucking put up the bad signs, the fucking blacklist royals. Let's see if we can pull up some signs of and burn them on CDs.
I want to, Rob. I'm gonna support it, and I'm gonna buy your book. But I need you to promise me something. I'm gonna support and buy it, and we can connect after the show of the logistics of this because I'll pay for shipping. I don't give a shit about that. But I'm gonna need you to sign my copy of my book that's coming to me. I'm gonna need you personally.
It would be my pleasure, dude.
Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate
really,
it.
man. I just appreciate y'all having me on, and I appreciate Lee for. She's so rad. Like
Lee's gonna get that book in book tenders. You watch it. She's saying it right there.
I have no doubt she will.
I have no doubt she will as well.
I have no fucking doubt, man. But seriously, and I don't know if you guys are wrapping up or not, but I will say that I really appreciate y'all having me on, and anytime you want me back, I'm fucking here, man.
Rob, thank you so much for your valuable time, man. I mean, seriously, can't say thank you enough for hanging in there with us tonight. I know you're in a different time zone. You got shit to do. It's just our goofy show. Thanks for joining us in our little squares this evening.
Oh, dude, I'm so happy to. Brian, man, it was great to meet you over the internet.
Yeah,
JD,
dude.
great to see you, dude. Really.
Good to see you too, man. It's been a fucking long time.
Yeah.
Shouts to fucking Nat. Shouts to fucking Tyson.
Rob
Dude,
Rufus.
I was just like, fuck, I should have hit
Fucking
up
Tyson and Paul
yeah.
and all the boys. Time for change, people. I'm telling you right now.
Hey, man.
SDM.
So happy you just said that, dude. Yeah, that makes my fucking day, man. Well, really, dude. Well, I'll catch you guys whenever you want. Really, man. Thanks again for having me.
Dude,
Yeah, Rob, you were great. Thank you so much, man. It was
On
great
this
meeting you.
level,
Like
on
you
this
said.
level, Brian, fucking hit a bunch of fucking buttons and we'll sign off. Fucking hit a bunch of weird buttons and make a bunch of weird noises.
Cheers, guys.
Photo, baby.
Oh, we lost Rob.
That's how we do it.
Yeah. We'll
Bye,
sign off.
everyone.
Well, way
sign
down
off on
yonder
that.
on the Chattahoochee.